What you see here are parts to a King Adirondack chair that's a rocker. I bought the plans from James King. He has a website and a YouTube channel, and I'll link to that below. And I wanted to see if I could build the rocker, how hard it was, and if I could actually sell them. So I bought the parts, I bought the lumber, and I had to wait for about 3 months for the lumber to get dry enough for me to be able to cut out these pieces. Then I got distracted on other projects and I got it about half sanded, and that's as far as I got. This video is dedicated to a very good friend of mine and neighbor, and he passed away about a week ago as of the filming of this video. Jim would come over and we would get out my moisture meter and we would check the moisture to find out whether or not I could start cutting this up. Then I got distracted on it and Jim would come over and he would give me a hard time about the fact that I hadn't finished the chair. So we're going to finish this chair. Right now what we need to do is we need to finish up the sanding. So let's get started. Okay, so I have sanded all of the back slats. They're all nice and smooth, but I got a couple of small issues. If you look at this one on the end, it's a little thinner than the others, but that's okay. I can put it on the side of the chair. But these three on this end are definitely thicker by about 1/8 of an inch, so we're gonna have to do some more sanding on those. That's not good. I knew that knot was going to be a problem, but I didn't have a choice. Well, I guess we got to make a new one. In the plans that you get from Kings Fine Woodworking for this rocking chair, there's a cut list, and I don't know if this camera will focus on it, but right there at the bottom that reads extra back slat. So you actually get an extra back slat that you cut, which I did get an extra back slat, which is good, except for the fact that I tried to use a template on it and I kind of gouged it up. So we're going to take a look at it and see if we can salvage that. So here is my extra back slat, and if I run this down here, you can kind of see where I kind of gouged it up. But I don't think it's so bad that we can't sand that out. So, see if you can see the ridges in it where I messed it up. But we're going to try to salvage this one. Okay, here is the one that was a little gouged up. I think it sanded out pretty good. It's slightly thinner, maybe a 32nd of an inch thinner. So I think I'm going to put this one on the end. But other than that, I think it came out pretty good. We're going to go with a 3/8 inch round over bit. for these parts. According to James King, that's what he used. He said you can use whatever roundover you think is appropriate, but I think I'm going to stick to the original plan. And just tighten that up. Good and tight. Find a battery and we're ready to go. Now we're going to router the edges of the back slats, but I don't want to router the bottoms because that will show me what's bottom, what's top. So we're only going to do the side that is facing out from the chair. The back of it we're not going to do. So I want to mark these with some tape just so I can remember not to router those bottom pieces. The next step is going to be routering some of the edges. But I just noticed a problem on two of my legs. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, I've discovered a couple of problems with the legs for this Adirondack chair. I did not catch this whenever I was sanding these. But if you stand these up and you put them together, you'll notice that one of them is taller than the other one. And I really don't want that. So we're going to have to fix that. So the way I'm going to fix it is I'm going to go to my router table and fix that there. However, when I put the template on it, the template's rocking. So we're going to have to start at the planer and we're going to have to plane down this hump that's in the middle of this wood because I put it on the cast iron top of my table saw. And the bottom of it's flat, but it's got a little hump in the middle. So we're going to fix that. This is the other side of my garage. Don't judge me. This is a very old planer. I bought this 25 years ago probably. One of the very first rigid 13-inch lunchbox planers. This one only has 2 blades, but it works pretty well. This plastic piece here is all cracked, so it's kind of hard to tell what your thickness is. I've gotten it to work, but I really need to put some JB Weld or something on it to be able to make it work correctly. But for the most part, it still works, so I'm keeping it. I know, I got the hose. All right, let's see how we did. Except you can't see. Hang on a minute. All right, here's my template. It's still rocking. It's not a big deal because of the way that this leg is going to sit, so I'm not going back to the joiner and I'm not going back to the planer in order to get this flat. But I am going to do the best I can to tape this down in the right spot, and I'll tape it this way all the way to here, run the router to there, and then I'll tape it here and I'll finish routering this side. Hopefully this will work. And if you want to know how I know what to router where, I have a TV in my garage and I'm watching James King build this particular chair. and he tells you exactly what to route or where. So you can't screw this up. All right, let's see if we can put some tape on this. Anybody got a knife? Okay, that's as good as it gets. Now let's see if this works. Okay, it's time to do some routering, but I wanted to show you this smart strip that I got. Bought this off of Amazon. They run about 20 bucks. The nice thing is you can plug in your machine here to the controlled outlet. You can plug your vac in over here, and then as soon as you turn on your machine, the vac starts up. So it's a really nice, handy thing to have. You don't have to worry about turning your vac on and off. And I just move it from machine to machine. But they're pretty cool. They run about 20 bucks and they're 15 amps, so they're a pretty good deal. And I'll leave a link to this one in the description so you can see it. This is a seat rail that I had to fix. The wood had a split in it that came across like this. So I opened up the split, I put some glue in it, and I clamped it. Came out pretty good. It's going to go on the bottom, so you won't see it anyway. And this will be the top where you sit. So. Oh, and one thing I forgot to tell you about that smart switch. Yeah, it helps if you turn the switch on so that it works correctly. Okay, on this piece there is a couple of places that I don't want to run the router. So I've marked those, but it's hard to see when I flip this upside down. So I have a Veritas saddle square that I'm going to use just to mark this so that I can see it. Okay, now we get to put some dowels in these rockers, and I get to use my brand new doweling jig. Okay, let's see what we've got. All right, some guides. That's a pretty cool orange color. All right, let's see if we can put this thing together and get it to work right. Can you see okay? Yeah. All right, one hole down. Now let's reposition and we'll do the other hole. All right, 2 holes done, perfectly centered. Now we'll do the next leg and then we'll put these together. Now for some glue up. We're going to go ahead and glue these 2 pieces together and then we're going to route them. Oh, you want to see a picture of my friend Jim that this chair is dedicated to? Here, let me get the camera off of here. There he is. Of course, he was a whole lot younger in that picture. So, anyway. All right, back to work. Okay, here we are 2 weeks later. I have routed everything. I have gotten the laser engraved piece back, and so I'll show you that to you in a photo here. And then I need to sand some burn spots, but then after that we're going to be ready to do some finishing. I will give you a tip. Make sure you check for all of your pieces. One of my pieces wound up in the scrap bin. I had to go searching for it, and I had not routed it, I had not sanded it, I had not done anything to it. So now it is ready to go. I have split everything up into 2 sets. This set here is going to get a redwood stain. This set here is going to get a cedar stain. Now, if you watch the original video on this that Kings Fine Woodworking put up, you'll know he uses a transparent stain. I could not find transparent, so I'm using a semi-transparent. I'm not really happy about it, but I'm going to use what I have. So we'll see how this comes out. The first coat of stain is done on these pieces. So you can kind of see the contrast in color here. And I will show you a really cool tip. Whenever you're staining, make sure you erase your pencil marks before you put the stain on it. Now I get to go back and fix that. It is now time to do some assembly. So I have marked where I need to make a 6-degree cut on these 2 leg pieces. And then I've got to get the much hated miter saw. I can't stand that thing. I would love to have a new one, but until then I've got to use it. So we're going to get that out, and we're going to set this up and go ahead and cut these 6-degree bevels. I've got the miter saw set up and I'm ready to make my cut. That is as square as I can get it, and I have clamped it in 3 places to hold it up correctly for this 6-degree cut. And the reason I hate this saw so bad is because I bought it at a garage sale for $15. Whoever had it before me cut through the cord and added a cord to it, and it's just not accurate. Now I've tried to make it accurate and I just can't get it accurate, and I don't know why. So but we're gonna hope this comes out right. It does have a laser on it. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's looking pretty good right now. So we're gonna make this cut and hope for the best. And then we got it. I didn't think it was going to go together, but it sure did. That one's up just a little bit, but hopefully it'll be okay. And we got this done. Ooh, look at that. And it's solid too. So whatever little warping I had in that is now gone. So that is great. I think that's going to be perfect. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is my old blue Ryobi drill. The thing I like about it is it's got a level on the top, but it also has a bullet level on the back, so that you can kind of see if you're straight up and down. I covered up Jim's name on the front because I'm going to open up the garage door here in a little bit, and in case his wife wanders over, I don't want her to see it. Okay, the base is done. It's time to put on the back slats. So I cut a board that's going to go underneath here according to the video. So we're going to install that so that I have a base to put these in, and then we'll get to putting in back slats. My drill's too long. I can fix that though. Well, I screwed up and I had to fix it. So whenever I was putting in my back slats, I drilled correctly, but then when I went to put the screw in, the screw moved over. So I had to fill in that hole with a piece of wood and glue it. The thing is, it happened on the other side too. So I'm not real sure why exactly, but they are fixed. So I should be able to get these in correctly now. Okay, no judgments on how messy my shop is. My wife has a project going on too, and I have to keep helping her with her stuff. So a whole bunch of other crap gets pulled out, and I wind up with stuff everywhere. So we're going to clean a little bit of this up, and then we're going to continue on with this chair. Now, I had to clean that up because it's sticking out some. So, let's see if I can do that here. Okay, now that's nice and flat. That looks a whole lot better than it did before. Okay, I got the 3 in, so now I need to put 5 and 5, which means I'm going to have to put the back on this and clamp it up so that they'll all stay where they're supposed to be. So let's get that part done. Yeah, it is what it is at this point. Those are a little tight on the left side. Oops. Didn't mean to kick you. Okay. So in the video, he has a plumb bob that he drops from the side on both sides to make sure that this section of the chair is centered. I don't have a plumb bob. I got to figure something else out. And for those of you in the telecom industry, that's 9-cord wax string. Don't you just love watching those YouTubers that have a woodworking shop in their garage and it's always clean whenever they're doing stuff and everything? Yeah, mine never looks like that. This is all the hardware that he recommends buying. I got it all from Amazon. So we need to find bolts. Hey, it fit. All right. Okay, so in the video, James says you position these where you think you need to put them and then you just screw them in. The problem is they're all warped. So all right, I think that's it. That didn't work well. There is a gap that I don't like. So I didn't come through the other side. That's a good thing. Okay. Well, it's about an eighth of an inch gap on the other side, but just put that anywhere. Nothing I can do about it. Great, I forgot to hit the record button. That's just awesome. All right, I'm going to move you on this side so you can see what I'm doing. You can't see anything. How about that? Okay, so I got half of this done. Now I got to get the other half done. The problem is spacing because these are pine boards. They were pressure treated, but with the knots and stuff, they're moving. Well, they did move after I cut them. So my spacing is not going to be perfect. There's nothing I can do about it. So we're just going to continue on and do the best we can with what we got to work with. Because that's what this channel is about. Just do the best you can do. I gotta be really careful with that so I don't split that wood. That would not be good. I have wax somewhere. I'm going to use wax on this screw. There's the seat. It's done. Now I just need to put the wheels on. Well, the chair is finished, except for the wheels, which I don't have the bolts for, so I'm going to have to order the bolts to be able to put the wheels on this. It came out really nice. This is a really, really nice design, and I really encourage you to go to James King's YouTube channel, and you can order the plans for this on his website. I did destroy a couple of bits, so I'm going to have to get those replaced. These are now trash. But other than that, everything went really well. Well, Jim, we did it. What do you think?